The hidden science of breath, why ancient yogis were way ahead of modern medicine. They told us breath was just automatic, something the body does on its own. But what if I told you the way you breathe could rewire your brain, heal your body, and even extend your life? And here's the kicker. Ancient Hindus and Buddhists figured this out thousands of years ago, long before modern science gave it a name. In this video, we're diving into the strange connection between a modern scientific idea called intermittent hypoxia and an ancient spiritual practice known as pranayama breathing. On the surface, they look like two totally different worlds. One is studied in labs with oxygen masks and machines, the other practiced in temples with chanting and meditation. But they're actually talking about the same hidden power inside you, the breath. Stick around because I'm going to show you exactly how these two overlap, why it matters for your health, and give you a simple, powerful breathing technique you can start today. One that combines science and spirituality in under 10 minutes. Let's start with the modern side of the story. Scientists have been exploring something called intermittent hypoxia. Hypoxia just means low oxygen. Now, when I say that, your brain might go, wait, low oxygen? Isn't that dangerous? And sure, if you're deprived of oxygen for too long, it's bad news. But here's the twist. Small, controlled doses of low oxygen can actually make you stronger. It's like exercise for your cells. You don't grow muscles by sitting on the couch. You grow them by stressing them, lifting weights, tearing fibers, and letting them rebuild stronger. Intermittent hypoxia does the same thing, but inside your cells and your blood. Studies show that these short dips in oxygen can stimulate the production of new red blood cells, making your body better at carrying oxygen, improve circulation and even repair blood vessels, boost brain plasticity, which helps with memory and learning, reduce inflammation and improve stress resilience. And there's early research hinting at protection against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's basically a biological upgrade button hidden inside something you do every moment of your life. Now here's the crazy part. You don't need a fancy oxygen chamber or a lab. You don't need to climb Mount Everest. Ancient practices like pranayama, which literally means control of the breath, were already doing this, deliberately creating gentle hypoxic states through breath holds, slow exhalations, and rhythmic cycles. And these practices aren't new. They're thousands of years old. The yogis in India and the monks in Tibet weren't hooked up to machines, but they knew through deep observation that the breath could shift the body and mind in powerful ways. Think about that. While the rest of the world was figuring out how to make fire and build tools, these spiritual scientists were sitting in caves, mapping the nervous system and experimenting with their lungs like living laboratories. They didn't call it intermittent hypoxia, but that's exactly what it was. So, what happens when you blend the ancient and the modern? You get a practice that is not only spiritually grounding, but also scientifically validated. That's where things get really interesting. Here's the problem, though. Most of us in the modern world have completely lost touch with our breath. We breathe shallow, fast, and unconsciously, especially when stressed. Our bodies stay locked in fight-or-flight mode, flooding us with stress hormones, raising our blood pressure, and wearing down our immune system. Think about it. When was the last time you actually paid attention to a full, deep breath? Most people don't. They breathe like a rabbit running from a fox even while sitting at a desk. And the consequence? Anxiety, fatigue, brain fog, and even chronic illness. Modern life has hijacked our natural rhythms. And while we chase coffee, energy drinks, and endless scrolling for relief, the answer has been hiding inside us all along. That is the challenge. How do we break out of this unconscious breathing cycle and reclaim the power that ancient wisdom and modern science both point to? Let's explore how the ancients solved this. Pranayama isn't just one technique. It's a whole system of breathing exercises, each with a different effect. Some are energizing, some are calming, some balance the left and right brain. But at the core, they all share one idea. Deliberate breathing creates deliberate living. One particular technique stands out when we talk about the overlap with intermittent hypoxia. It's called the 4-8-8 cycle, and it's deceptively simple. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 8 seconds, exhale for 8 seconds. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This cycle is incredibly potent. Let me walk you through why. When you inhale for 4 seconds, you're filling your lungs, expanding your diaphragm, and drawing oxygen deep into the body. Most of us barely scratch the surface of our lung capacity. This step alone starts training you to breathe more fully. Then comes the 8-second hold. This is the key. Holding your breath briefly reduces oxygen levels in your blood just enough to signal your body, hey, we need to adapt. Your blood vessels open up. Nitric oxide production increases, improving circulation. Your brain gets a little stress test, which actually makes it more resilient over time. This is that intermittent hypoxia effect, but controlled, safe, and intentional. Finally, the 8-second exhale. This is where the magic of relaxation happens. Long, slow exhalations activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body that says, it's safe. You can rest, you can heal. It lowers heart rate, reduces stress hormones, and creates that grounded, peaceful state meditators talk about. Put it all together, and the 4-8-8 cycle is like a mini workout, meditation, and stress relief session rolled into one. Now imagine doing this for just 5 to 10 minutes a day. That's nothing compared to how long you spend on your phone, but the effects compound. Better sleep, more focus, less anxiety, and over time, real physiological changes that both modern research and ancient texts agree on. Here's the moment that always blows my mind. Modern science spends millions of dollars researching oxygen therapies, developing machines, and creating high-tech solutions to improve human health. Meanwhile, sitting on a yoga mat in India 2,000 years ago, a teacher with no equipment was guiding students through breath holds, slow exhalations, and cycles of controlled hypoxia. It's like watching two people climb the same mountain from opposite sides. One side uses labs, data, and experiments. The other uses intuition, inner awareness, and centuries of tradition. And they meet at the same summit, saying the same thing. Controlled breathing heals, strengthens, and transforms you. That realization, that science is confirming what spirituality has always taught, is the real climax here. It's proof that the breath is more than just air. It's a bridge between the body and the mind, between the ancient and the modern. So let's bring this full circle. Intermittent hypoxia, studied in modern labs, shows us that controlled dips in oxygen improve health, resilience, and mental function. Pranayama, practiced by yogis and monks for millennia, uses the same principle in a spiritual, embodied way. The overlap is undeniable, and you don't need to travel to the Himalayas or sign up for an expensive study. You just need to sit down, close your eyes, and practice the 4-8-8 cycle. Inhale for 4, hold for 8, exhale for 8. Do it for 5 minutes, then 10. Over time, you'll see the changes. Calmer thoughts, more energy, deeper sleep. The breath is free. It's portable. And it is the most underrated tool for transformation that you already carry with you everywhere you go.